Welcome to Studio 5. Dante Bowe, Katy Nichole, and Granger Smith. All three singers are sharing stories with us today. But first, let's get to the countdown of the top 5 stories from the world of uplifting entertainment. Here are your first 2.
At number 5.
Don't make me have to come down there. My children, you had best beware.
Happy 77th birthday to country music's Dolly Parton.
I'm going to drop a new song on my 77th birthday. It's a song that I think the world needs to hear right now, so I thought, well, I'd just give the world a little gift. It's a song I kind of dreamed, so I'm going to celebrate that. It's called Don't Make Me Have to Come Down There. It's like God talking, like, don't make me have to come down there. My children, you had best beware. I've let you try my patience as all good fathers do, but you're on my last nerve. I have had it up to here with you, so don't make me have to come down there.
There's new music and a new line of Southern baking mixes, making it easier for fans to make Dolly's recipes for biscuits, brownies, and cornbread.
I gave you a book, you didn't read it. I gave you my word, you didn't heed it. Gave you a map, you said you didn't need it.
At number 4. We head to Utah and the Sundance Festival for a special film premiere.
We had the honor today to attend the film premiere of Still, a Michael J. Fox movie.
It was an energetic entrance into his Sundance stretch, all for the premiere of his film Still, a documentary telling the improbable tale of Michael J. Fox's rise to stardom and then the unexpected diagnosis.
You stumbled into my life and said, you can make a movie out of this. And I thought, I had nothing to do the next 6 weeks.
You could make a movie about someone with Parkinson's and make it like a sad, pitying movie, and we didn't want to do that. I think this film is full of life and full of hope, full of spirit.
This is crazy. This is a 16-year-old kid who left Canada to be an actor. I was like the biggest star in the world, and I was like this guy who couldn't get a date in high school.
And that begins our countdown this week. In recent weeks, we've seen Maverick City music leader Chandler Moore announce he's taking a break. Former Maverick City contributor Dante Bowe, who is just returning to the music scene, found himself needing a break as well some months ago. He's returning now to work, and he's sitting down with Studio 5 to share a behind-the-scenes look at the break, the return, new music, a new label, and a new city to call home.
Woke up to the summer shining through, calling on my friends asking what's the move.
How are you? Let's begin there.
Hi, I'm good. I'm good.
I ain't gonna let no clouds get in my way. The only road I'm walking is the one I pick.
I mean, it's been an incredible journey the last few months. So I feel healthier than ever, better than ever, brighter than ever. Feel closer to God. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you.
I think we all woke up surprised when Maverick City announces they're pausing their relationship with you.
I'm gonna wait on you. Yeah, I've tasted your goodness.
What were you thinking when that was announced?
That's a good question.
Well, you've always been true, so I'm gonna wait on you. Yeah.
God's going to use people and things to catapult you into your next step. And so I don't think it was like something that shouldn't have happened. I think it should have happened because now I have this incredible team. I've rebuilt, my infrastructure with the most incredible people and the most incredible producer, John, who's helped me release, Hide Me and this entire album, Press Play. And I don't think that would have happened if, just certain things didn't occur. The trials are not in vain. Nothing is wasted. Nothing's in vain.
The right, the wrongs, the in-betweens. Help me know for sure things do get better.
For someone like you, I know you've endured so much, from family loss, abuse, homelessness. I don't know if you can even compare the trying times. Were you going through and looking back at that? What was happening?
God oftentimes prepares us for the journey, and I feel like everything I've gone through and everything I'm going through is it's important. It's very, very relevant to my destiny and my future, my purpose in those dark seasons is when you really see the light and when you really get revelation and new vision and new strategy and new approaches to life. So I think, you know, it's just a part of growth.
Under your shadow, under your wing, hide me, hide me, hide me, cover me.
Pause, press play. The first single from that is Hide Me.
Hide Me.
Released in Times Square.
Yes, can you believe that?
Good Morning America.
That's right. He is back now. He's going to debut his new song, Hide Me.
Under your shadow.
How did all of that come about in that song? What gave birth to it?
Yeah, me and my producer, John Webb, who I call my angel, because in that dark season, John was knocking on my door because I wasn't answering any phone calls, right? And he was knocking on my door, and he came in and we just talking. He's like, let's go up to the studio. And so we immediately started recording. Didn't know an album would come out of it, but that's the plan of God, you know? It's like God's plan, you know? It's not our will, his will. It was just a natural. John started playing that beat, and the first thing I thought of was, you know, I'm under the shadow of the Almighty, you know what I mean? I'm under his wing, and there is safety there. And I think this entire season has been me under the shadow of the Almighty. I felt so hidden, so protected, and close to him. And I think a lot of people would think I felt, you know, a little, you know, down or out or, you know, depressed even maybe. But I really felt very protected by the Lord in this season.
What do you think it was that allowed you to feel that way? So protected in that time?
I don't necessarily know. I just feel like I never shut the door on God. I kept the door wide open because I need him more in those seasons. And even I need him, you know, when I'm just on the mountaintop, you know what I mean? I always need him, but I just think I ran to him, you know, faster. You know, I wanted more of Jesus when I went through that, you know what I mean? And I think that's the point of it all. Sometimes, you know, those things happen so we can draw near, right? And so I felt very, very close to him in that season. And also just the team he put around me, I felt so blessed. My friends were with me the entire time. I mean, it was really a fabulous time. Like I felt really, really blessed. And how can you not run to him after, you know, feeling so overwhelmed by his presence and his blessings?
You're my everything.
How does it feel to be standing? I know you've got a team, to be standing alone. So you look to your right now, you look to your left. There's no Maverick City, there's no Bethel Music. It's Dante.
Yeah, you know, it feels really, really good. I love Maverick and I love Bethel Music. I mean, they've done so much for me and we're still friends to this day. I've always had support, but I just think, you know, different things are necessary for the next journey. It is God's plan, and we're trying to do it right.
Be sure to keep your eyes and ears open for the new music from Dante Bowe. He's also joining us just a little bit later in the show with a final word of wisdom.
Still ahead.
The hands of grace and endless love dusted off and picked me up.
We've shared the story that gave birth to Katy Nichole's In Jesus' Name. We'll now explore the personal story behind God is in Your Story.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
At number 3.
The most unluckiest boy in the whole world.
C.S. Lewis's The Horse and His Boy is on stage now at the Museum of the Bible through March 3rd.
There was only one lion.
How do you know?
I
It's a Logos Theater production, and Justin Swain is the puppet master behind these massive creatures.
You make magic happen. I love it. My dad always told me, find a job you love and you don't have to work a day in your life. And I have that and so much more, because the stories we tell can change lives for eternity. So.
At number 2.
There are over 5,000 homeless souls in this city alone. So it is Philip's wish to reach each and every one of them with a comforting gesture, a blanket. You're a celebrity.
A Studio 5 first look at 5,000 Blankets, the inspiring true story of a woman and her son who start a movement that inspires a city, streaming now on PureFlix. That real-life, faith-filled journey belongs to Cindy Bunch and her son, Philip. How are you feeling with your story being shared with the world now on a new platform?
I think it's something that we have needed for so long. I mean, it hits across the board. It hits with families. It hits with social services. It hits with mental health. I just think that this movie is something that people have been asking for.
That's going to leave us with just one more story in this week's countdown. We will share it in just a little bit. We turn now to Katy Nichole. Her breakout hit, In Jesus' Name, was one of the best faith songs of 2022. In fact, the tune went viral when she shared just one verse on TikTok. It's now her flagship song, and it comes from a very powerful young life. So you've got a new project out, and we are listening and enjoying. I'd love to get just sort of some of the story behind some of the songs, what led to them. Let's go with, of course, we know In Jesus' Name, Jesus changed my life.
I remind myself every single day that this world will never satisfy. This world will never do what my God can do. And I have spent so much of my life running to all of the wrong places, thinking, okay, that'll help, that'll do it for me, and it never does. And I, especially through the 3 years that, I was struggling, I remember not treating people very well because, again, I didn't know if I would make it to tomorrow. That was my mindset. I kind of got to a place where I was like, I don't really care. I don't really care about anything. I just don't want to be here. And so, I look where I am now and I'm like, Jesus changed everything for me.
The hands of grace and endless love dusted off and picked me up, told my heart that hope is never gone. God is in this story.
God is in this story.
He sure is.
Even in the broken parts, He holds my heart. He never
that song, that was a pretty dark season of my life.
Always in the highs, He knows the one goes before me.
Just again, kind of struggling with depression. It's something that comes in waves. It's something that we're all on a healing journey with. I don't know a single person who hasn't at least struggled with it once in their life. We all go through grief, loss, suffering, pain. There's so much of that in this world. But the thing is that I wanted to remind people that through the broken places in their story, God is turning that into beauty. There are beautiful things happening because you go out and you get to tell this story. It's the good news. You are the vessel that carries the good news. And through your story, people can see the goodness of God. They can see how He can do it for me, He can do it for you. That is a truth that I will stand on for the rest of my life. And I know how hard it is to go out and share your story. I know how scary that can be. And I just want people to have the courage, have the strength that God gave them to go out and share what He can do.
God is in this story. If it reads like addiction, if it reads like disease, He's the one who frees the prisoner. He's the healer of all things.
I need to tell people how grateful I am. I need to tell people how thankful I am that Jesus is in this with me, and He is just creating beautiful things through a very broken story. It was once very broken, and now it's just becoming beautiful as it's being written. And I'm so grateful for that, and I just wanted to say that because he can do amazing things.
Be sure to keep an eye and ear out right here on Studio 5 in 2023. We are sure to have more from Katy Nichole. With that, we have made it to one of my favorite parts of the show. It's time to share a story in pictures. Here's your Studio 5 snapshot.
It's officially Oscar season, and these images share some of the notable highlights from this week's announcement, like Angela Bassett's nomination for Best Supporting Actress, making history as the first for a Marvel movie, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Buzz Luhrmann's Elvis film earned 8 nominations, including Austin Butler, the star, being nominated for Best Actor. Tom Cruise missed Best Actor, but he still got his first Oscar nomination in 23 years for Top Gun: Maverick in the Best Picture category. The Academy Awards are this week's Studio 5 snapshot. Still to come.
But I don't have to move on. I'll write it down in the words of a new song.
It's the music of Moonrise.
Did creating a new album that comes out alongside it, did that make it easier for you, or was that even more intense?
With country singer and actor Granger Smith.
Life is better with a good night's sleep. Get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep as the world watches from the outside.
It's a big diplomatic tug-of-war here in the Middle East.
Go inside the story with Jerusalem Dateline.
Israeli archaeologists are talking about a discovery that could change the thinking about the Temple Mount.
Join CBN Jerusalem Bureau Chief Katy Nichole and get the biblical perspective on the events shaping the world.
It's what starts in Israel, then ends up going to other places.
Watch Jerusalem Dateline Friday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel. Download the CBN News app. One place for all of your news. Breaking news alerts. Watch CBN News Channel live. CBN News, because truth matters. Get the CBN News app today.
Welcome back to Studio 5. Moonrise stars country music singer Granger Smith, who is acting for the very first time. He plays a man struggling with a painful loss. It's a familiar story. Granger and his wife suffered the loss of their 3-year-old in a tragic swimming accident 3 years ago. We had the chance to speak with him about that loss before the movie's release. Today, we're sharing that conversation along with some great new music from Granger.
Good morning. I'm Sam Lynn from the Horse Training Co-op out of Houston.
Ellie, this is Sam Lynn, the horse trainer you apparently hired.
Can't send her home after she's come all this way.
I'm Will Brown.
Have we met before?
He was a country singer.
So, Granger, how does it feel to make your acting debut?
It still feels strange to hear you even say it like that.
We pray before we eat, say I love you before we sleep, and watch football after Sunday service.
Did creating a new album that comes out alongside it, did that make it easier for you, or was that even more intense?
It didn't make my schedule easier. That's for sure. But it probably made my brain work a little easier, just because I've always done music, and so adding music to the film just helped the whole project feel more like me, and the creative side just felt easier for me.
On a quarter-acre corner lot, ain't gotta knock, the door's unlocked.
So tell us too about the music that people can expect as well.
But I don't have to move on. I'll write it down in the words of a new song.
Yeah, the music was really unintentional. It's kind of an accident. It just fell into my lap. But I read the script, and there was a song that my character sings in the film, and he writes this song at the end of his redemption when he's finally learning, what this is all about. It's called Forever Forward. And I texted the director and I said, can you send me that song, Forever Forward? And she said, no, that song doesn't exist, but we're going to find it one day. And I knew that's not going to happen. There's no way we're going to find it. So I said, oh, let me just take a stab at writing it. And so I wrote that song, then I wrote another song, and then while I was on set, I started writing more songs for the moments. And then the director was then coming on, you know, to my trailer saying, hey, got this scene coming up. Can you write a song for this moment? And so the whole album ended up being that.
Tell me about your character. Of course, I've seen the film. He's struggling with what many of us struggle with whenever we're suffering through any kind of trying time. How would you describe this man?
That's it. That's what attracted me to the script. Is I thought this guy's so relatable. I know this guy. I've known men like him. In fact, I am in a lot of ways like him, where we go through some kind of struggle, some kind of grief, some kind of turmoil, and we try to handle it ourselves. You know, we try to internalize it and compartmentalize it and just say, I got it. Don't worry. Are you okay? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take care of my family. I'm gonna make sure my family's good. I'm gonna make sure my boss is good, my employees, you know, all the people around me, and make sure everybody's good. And inside, we're just falling apart. And that's what I saw in this character. And then the story of redemption, he realizes, doesn't come from him. And that's just a realization we all have to have when we try to fix it ourselves. We have to realize surrender is the answer.
Is that a lesson you had to learn? Naturally, we all are familiar with you and your wife's story and your family's story in terms of losing your own son to an accident. Is that a lesson you guys had to learn?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the times right after our accident in our family, I thought, okay, time to man up, time to be the rock for the family, time to be the one everyone could lean on, time to shape up, to clean up my emotions and just make sure that I'm here, that everyone can come and I could wrap them up and I could hug everybody. And I was slowly crumbling until I realized that I needed to surrender to the source. I needed to surrender to my creator and say, God, I can't do this anymore. I can't fix this on my own. Come into me, fix me, let me feel your presence. I give it all to you. And when I did that, that's when the true healing began.
Granger has a new album out. It's called, as you might imagine, Moonrise. With that, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the 5 best stories from the world of uplifting entertainment. Here's what's #1 this week.
At #1. Following a brief pause, Grammy winner Dante Bowe is ready to press play on his musical future. And he's returning to social media.
Hold on, hold on, hold on and don't let go.
You, a few days ago, shared a song on Instagram. Not sure if this is part of the album, but certainly ministered to me, and I'm sure ministered to countless others from what I can see in the comments. Hold on. Was that spontaneous, or is this something we are expecting more of?
If you're looking for miracles, they're out there, wait and see.
I'll wake up in the morning, I'll go sit on my piano, and I'll just play and sing to God. And a lot of times songs will come out of that. And I was talking to my creative director, Jamel, and we were just talking about me making a TikTok thing, you know? It's like, I'm not necessarily like the TikTok guy, but I ended up making a TikTok and just putting my morning songs on there, the songs I just come up with in the morning. And so Hold On was one of those songs. I didn't expect it to do what it did on Instagram. And so we just recently recorded it live at Amen Nights, which is gonna be coming out soon. But yeah, it was spontaneous. Like, it was just a song that was just in my heart.
Joy comes in the morning, weeping can only last one night. We didn't get this far for nothing, everything is gonna be alright.
On October 1st, 1961, history was made when a tiny station began transmitting the first signals of the Christian Broadcasting Network.
CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network.
And now, a new era has begun with the all-new CBN News Channel.
Just moments ago, the Iron Dome intercepted an incoming rocket right on the Gaza border.
And ministering in this area, spiritual warfare is definitely involved.
A 24/7 news network, bringing you the news you want from a source you can trust.
In Kenya, 40% of the medical services are actually provided by these Christian hospitals.
Let's talk about the economy.
Believers here are joining together to win people to Jesus Christ.
All your favorite shows now in one place. Go to cbnnewschannel.com to find out how to get the CBN News Channel on your TV all day, every day. CBN News.
Stay connected with CBN News all day across our platforms.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We love music, and this week's soundtrack comes from Dante Bowe and Crowder. Take a listen and hear why God Really Loves Us is what's playing in my ear. On that musical note, we are just about out of time for this edition of Studio 5. Let's look ahead right now to next week.
As a child, Zora Neale Hurston possessed a keen interest in the stories she heard about people's lives and customs while lingering at Joe Clark's General Store in Eatonville, Florida, one of a handful of all-black towns in the United States.
A Studio 5 look at a key figure of the Harlem Renaissance in the documentary Zora Neale Hurston, Claiming a Space.
How important do you think faith was to Zora's work and life?
What I know about Zora Neale Hurston's connection to faith is that it was important in the sense that her father was a preacher and she grew up in the church. And it's been reported in the research that we've uncovered that in Harlem, when she lived in Harlem, she would attend church service periodically, and maybe regularly. It's unclear,
Director Tracy Heather Strain takes us inside the life of the anthropologist and author.
Please join us for that and so much more come next week. Before we say goodbye today, we want to return to our sit-down guest, Dante Bowe, for today's final word. If you could go back in time to talk to little Dante, what would you tell that little boy in light of what you know today?
I would just tell him, nothing is wasted, that God's going to use it all for your future, your purpose. It's all necessary for where you're going. Don't despise small beginnings. Always stay prayerful and always stay focused.
Dante Bowe, thank you sincerely. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please, come on back. See where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.